The rain falls gently over Vancouver, a misty veil drifting between the mountains and the sea. The city hums in the distance, softened by the cool embrace of the Pacific air. Through a window, the glow of streetlights reflects on the wet pavement, turning the night into a quiet painting of gold and silver. Somewhere beyond the harbor, the faint sound of a ferry horn echoes across the water, its deep call blending with the rhythmic lapping of the waves. High above, the North Shore Mountains stand in shadow, their outlines softened by the low-hanging clouds. The twinkle of lights along the hillsides hints at cozy homes tucked between the evergreens, warm and welcoming against the cool, misty night. The scent of rain-kissed cedar drifts through the air, mingling with the faint aroma of freshly brewed coffee escaping from late-night cafes. Vancouver is more than a city. It is a place where nature and urban life intertwine, where the sea meets the forest, and where each street, each park, and each hidden corner holds a story waiting to be told. Tonight, the journey begins, one step at a time, through the heart of a city that dreams with the tide. Welcome to Bedtime Travel Stories, where soothing tales and gentle narrations take you on a tranquil journey through the world's most enchanting places, right from the comfort of your bed. Unwind and travel with us as we explore the globe one story at a time, helping you relax and drift into a peaceful sleep. The gentle hum of the city fades as the seawall stretches before you, curving along the edge of Vancouver's shimmering harbor. The quiet rhythm of lapping waves accompanies each step, a soothing cadence against the soft patter of rain on the pavement. A cool breeze carries the scent of salt and pine, mingling with the faint aroma of damp earth from the towering trees of Stanley Park. The water reflects the city lights in golden ripples, their glow shimmering across the darkened bay like lanterns adrift at sea. The seawall, one of the longest uninterrupted waterfront paths in the world, winds its way around Stanley Park, offering a tranquil journey between land and sea. To one side, the vast Pacific stretches into the distance, waves rolling in from unseen horizons. To the other, an ancient forest rises, dense and shadowed, its towering cedars and firs forming a natural fortress against the outside world. The contrast is striking. One moment, you're gazing out over the infinite ocean, and the next, you are lost in the quiet embrace of nature. Along the water's edge, the city skyline stands tall, its glass towers glowing softly against the night sky. The reflections dance upon the water, shimmering with each ripple of the harbor. In the distance, the Lions Gate Bridge stretches gracefully across the inlet, its twinkling lights resembling a string of stars. The bridge, a gateway to the rugged North Shore Mountains, seems to invite travelers to leave the city behind and step into the untamed wilderness beyond. Sailboats rest quietly in Cole Harbor, their masts swaying gently with the motion of the tide. The soft creak of rigging and the occasional call of a seagull punctuate the silence, adding to the peaceful ambience. The harbor itself feels like a place suspended in time, where the movement of the water and the shifting of the tide dictate the rhythm of life. Even the city, so alive with energy by day, seems to pause here, hushed beneath the vast open sky. A little farther into the park, the iconic totem poles stand proudly, their carved figures illuminated by soft golden light. Each piece tells a story, a history passed down through generations, a connection to the land that predates the towering skyscrapers of Vancouver. The artistry is mesmerizing, the intricate designs woven with meaning, their presence a quiet reminder of the First Nations people who have called this land home for thousands of years. Deeper still, the trees grow denser, their trunks thick with age, their branches entwined in a cathedral of green. The sound of the city disappears entirely, replaced by the hush of wind stirring through the foliage. A hidden trail leads into the heart of the forest, where the scent of damp earth and cedar is strong, where the air is cool and rich with the breath of the ancient woods. It is a world unto itself, a place where time slows, where footsteps become softer, where the whisper of the trees tells stories only the night can hear. The park is alive even in the quiet of night. A distant splash hints at an otter slipping beneath the water's surface. The rustle of leaves above reveals an owl shifting on its perch. Somewhere in the underbrush, a raccoon pauses, its eyes catching the light before it disappears into the shadows. This place, so close to the bustling heart of the city, holds an untamed spirit, a wildness that lingers even as the world changes around it. From a quiet bench along the water's edge, the city glows in the distance, its towers standing like beacons against the night sky. The gentle hum of distant traffic is muffled by the trees, a reminder that the city, though near, feels a world away. The night deepens, the tide continues its endless cycle, and the peaceful rhythm of Vancouver's waterfront carries you further into restful serenity, into the heart of a city that dreams with the sea. The cobblestone streets of Gastown glisten under the soft glow of old-fashioned street lamps, their light reflecting in delicate golden streaks against the damp pavement. The air carries the scent of rain-soaked brick, mingling with the warm aroma of fresh espresso wafting from cozy cafes. There is a quiet charm here, a sense of stepping back in time, where the hum of the modern city fades into the whispers of history. Ornate iron balconies line the upper stories of heritage buildings, their windows glowing softly, hinting at stories held within. At the heart of Gastown, the famous steam clock stands like a sentinel, its brass and glass exterior gleaming beneath the streetlights. Every 15 minutes, a plume of steam hisses from its vents, a soft rhythmic exhale that signals the passing of time. A deep, melodic whistle echoes through the streets, a lullaby of sorts, as the clock releases a tune in harmony with the city's pulse. It is a familiar sound, one that blends seamlessly with the muted footsteps of late-night wanderers, and perhaps even the occasional distant whisper of a friendly ghost of the past. The buildings in this part of the city wear their history proudly, their brick facades and arched windows whispering of an era when Gastown was little more than a frontier settlement. Originally founded around a saloon in the 1860s, the district grew into a bustling hub, its warehouses and shop fronts catering to traders, loggers, and sailors. Now those same structures house intimate restaurants, artisan boutiques, and hidden speakeasies, where warm candlelight flickers against exposed brick and time seems to slow. A few blocks away, the scent of cedar and aged leather lingers in the boutiques that sell handcrafted goods. Shelves lined with hand-woven textiles, delicate ceramics, and rich dark roasted coffee invite exploration. Every shop feels like a hidden treasure, a small world unto itself, filled with carefully curated pieces that tell stories of their own. Here, craftsmanship is celebrated, and the quiet intimacy of Gastown storefronts feels like a welcome refuge from the broader city's movement. Down Water Street, the historic lamplights cast elongated shadows across the slick cobblestones, guiding the way toward a view of the harbor. The quiet lapping of water against the docks is a steady, calming sound as sailboats bob gently in the marina. Beyond the waterfront, the North Shore mountains rise in the distance, their dark silhouettes crowned with mist, the twinkling lights of hillside homes scattered like stars against their slopes. Gastown's nightlife hums softly, a gentle energy rather than a rush. Jazz drifts through an open doorway, the low and sultry notes weaving through the night like a dream. A couple sways near the entrance, caught in the music's spell, their laughter blending with the soft murmur of conversation from the bistros lining the street. The sound of a barista steaming milk in a late-night cafe adds to the symphony of the night, each small detail another note in Gastown's melody. Above it all, ivy clings to the old brick walls, its tendrils weaving across time-worn facades like nature's own embroidery. The past and the present intertwine here, history breathing in the quiet moments between footsteps. Even the trees that line the sidewalk seem to bow slightly under the weight of their years, standing as silent witnesses to the stories unfolding beneath them. And as the steam clock exhales its final tune of the hour, the quiet magic of Gastown lingers, wrapping itself around the night like a warm embrace. The city sleeps, but here, in Vancouver's historic heart, time hums on in a steady, comforting rhythm. Nestled beneath the steel framework of the Granville Street Bridge, Granville Island awakens as the first hints of morning light dance upon the water. The island is a place of contrasts, where industrial past meets creative present, where fishermen unload their fresh catch alongside artisanal shops filled with handcrafted wonders. The scent of salt and freshly baked bread mingles in the air, carried along by the gentle breeze drifting in from False Creek. This is a place where the city feels different, more intimate, more alive with artistry and craft. The heart of Granville Island is its famed public market, a lively maze of color and scent. Stalls burst with ripe produce, gleaming cherries, sun-kissed peaches, deep green bundles of fresh herbs. The air is thick with the aroma of roasting coffee, the crackle of fresh baguettes being torn apart, the smoky whisper of salmon jerky hanging in neat rows. Bakers arrange rows of golden croissants still warm from the oven, their flaky edges glistening under the soft market lights. Nearby, the scent of cinnamon and maple drifts from a pastry stand, drawing in early risers searching for the perfect morning treat. Beyond the market, the island hums with creativity. Studios line the waterfront, where glass blowers shape molten orbs into delicate sculptures, their hands steady as the fire licks at the edges of their craft. Painters work with sweeping brushstrokes, their canvases capturing the reflections of sailboats rocking gently in the marina. A violinist plays on a quiet street corner, the soft, melancholic notes weaving through the island's cobblestone paths. It is a place where inspiration lingers in the air, where every street holds a story, every workshop a dream in progress. The marina, lined with brightly painted houseboats, shimmers in the midday light. The gentle sway of the docks, the rhythmic creak of mooring ropes, the quiet hum of conversation floating from small cafes, everything moves in a slow, unhurried rhythm. Kayakers paddle lazily through the calm waters of False Creek, their oars dipping into the mirrored surface, sending soft ripples outward like whispers. The city skyline stands just beyond, a reminder of Vancouver's modern pulse. But here, the island holds its own time, measured by the tide of people, the tide of inspiration. By afternoon, the sounds of laughter and music spill from the small theaters and performance spaces dotting the island. Buskers strum guitars beneath sunlit awnings, their melodies blending with the murmur of the crowd. A puppeteer gathers a circle of wide-eyed children, their faces wrapped with wonder as a wooden marionette twirls to the rhythm of an old accordion tune. Nearby, a potter spins clay on a wheel, hands moving in careful symmetry, shaping something beautiful from the earth itself. As dusk settles, the lights of the market glow warmly, casting golden reflections onto the water. Couples stroll along the waterfront, the city's skyline twinkling just beyond the marina. The laughter of diners spills from open-air bistros, where the scent of grilled seafood and warm, spiced cider lingers in the cool evening air. At a quiet cafe, a poet scribbles verses onto a napkin, the gentle hum of jazz drifting from a nearby lounge. The island at night is something different, softer, quieter, its energy transformed into something intimate, something magical. Granville Island is more than a destination. It is a feeling, a rhythm, a pulse of creativity tucked within the heart of the city. It is where the past lingers in the scent of sawdust and sea air, where the present hums in the laughter of artisans and performers, and where the future is shaped in the hands of those who create. And as the last ferry drifts away from the dock, its wake shimmering in the moonlight, the island breathes in the quiet of the night, resting, waiting, ready to awaken once more with the first light of dawn. The journey to Capilano Suspension Bridge is a journey into nature's embrace. As the path winds through the towering trees of North Vancouver, the soft murmur of the forest guides you forward. The air is cool, tinged with the earthy scent of pine and damp moss, as the first rays of sunlight pierce through the canopy, scattering gold across the forest floor. This is a place where time slows down, where the world beyond seems a distant memory, and all that matters is the rhythmic sound of your breath in harmony with the whispering wind. The bridge itself seems to hover above the forest, a pathway suspended between two ancient worlds, one of the solid earth, the other of the air. Made of weathered wood and sturdy cables, it stretches 137 meters across the deep canyon, swaying gently with each step you take. Beneath your feet, the treetops sway in the breeze, their leaves shimmering in the soft morning light. As you step onto the bridge, it feels as if you are walking between realms, one foot in the modern world, the other in an ancient forest that has stood for centuries. The view from the bridge is breathtaking. Below, the river rushes over smooth stones, carving its way through the canyon. The trees that line the gorge rise like sentinels, their trunks thick and knotted with age, their branches reaching skyward, as if they too are stretching to touch the clouds. In the distance, the forest spills into the horizon, a tapestry of green that feels as if it could go on forever. It is a landscape that feels both timeless and untamed, untouched by the bustle of the world outside. As you cross the bridge and step onto the other side, the forest seems to open up around you. The air is alive with the sound of birds. Flocks of cedar waxwings flit between branches, and the occasional call of a distant raven echoes through the trees. On the forest floor, ferns unfurl their delicate fronds in the cool shade, their soft green leaves brushing against the bark of ancient trees. The gentle sound of the wind in the treetops is soothing, a constant lullaby that whispers through the ages. The surrounding area offers a chance to explore even further, with winding trails that lead through the forest and along the canyon rim. The Capilano River flows below, its waters shimmering in the sunlight as it winds its way through the landscape. A network of boardwalks and bridges leads you along the forest floor, allowing you to walk among the towering trees, to touch their rough bark and feel the ancient energy that pulses within them. Each step is a journey deeper into a world that feels both timeless and alive, a place where nature holds dominion and you are simply a visitor in its kingdom. For those looking for an even deeper connection with the forest, the treetop walk is an experience not to be missed. This series of suspended walkways, perched high among the towering cedars, offers an entirely new perspective on the forest. From up above, you can see the world from the treetops, watching as squirrels dart between branches and birds soar overhead. The feeling of being so high up, yet so connected to the natural world, is both humbling and exhilarating. It is a chance to step into the canopy and feel the pulse of the forest from its heart. As dusk falls and the sun dips below the horizon, the forest seems to take on a new life. The air cools, and the once bright colors of the trees and river deepen into shades of blue and purple. The forest is no longer bustling with the energy of the day, but is quiet, peaceful, and still. The stars begin to twinkle above, their light filtering through the branches of the trees. As you leave the bridge behind and make your way back along the path, the memory of the forest lingers, its sights, sounds, and scents etched into your mind like a tranquil dream. Capilano Suspension Bridge is more than just a crossing. It is a journey into the heart of nature. It is a place where the spirit of the forest, ancient and enduring, wraps around you, and you feel for a brief moment that you are part of something much larger than yourself. A place where the air is filled with the fragrance of the earth, where the trees whisper secrets, and where time seems to slow down allowing you to step fully into the presence of the moment. And as you leave the forest, you carry a piece of it with you, a reminder that nature is always waiting, just beyond the threshold, ready to embrace you again. Rising above the skyline of Vancouver, Grouse Mountain stands as a majestic sentinel where nature and adventure intertwine. It is a place where the city's heartbeat fades into the rustling of wind through towering evergreens, where crisp mountain air fills the lungs and the hum of daily life is replaced by the hush of alpine wilderness. The journey begins at the base, where the Skyride gondola awaits, its sturdy frame swaying gently as it prepares to lift visitors high above the forest canopy. As the gondola ascends, the world below transforms, Vancouver's skyline shrinking, the glass towers catching the golden light of the setting sun, the harbor unfolding in a glittering mosaic of blues and silvers. The higher it climbs, the more the wilderness reveals itself, until all that remains is the mountain, wrapped in a cool embrace of mist and sky. At the summit, Grouse Mountain unfurls in every direction. Snow-capped peaks stretch into the distance, their rugged outlines softened by wisps of passing clouds. In the summer, the air carries the scent of pine and damp earth, the sound of birdsong weaving through the whisper of the wind. Hikers tread along alpine trails, their boots crunching over sun-dappled pathways, winding through thickets of wildflowers that bloom in bursts of yellow and violet. The city, now a distant shimmer, feels a world away. In winter, the landscape transforms into a snow-laden wonderland, where the laughter of skiers and snowboarders echoes through the crisp air. The slopes, dusted with fresh powder, glisten beneath the morning sun, the distant hum of the gondola punctuated by the rhythmic swoosh of skis carving through the frost. At the heart of the mountain, a sanctuary unfolds, the Grouse Mountain Wildlife Refuge. Here, nestled among the evergreens, two grizzly bears, Grinder and Cooler, roam their expansive habitat, their thick coats blending with the golden hues of autumn or the pristine white of winter's first snowfall. They move with a quiet grace, their presence a reminder that this mountain belongs first to the wild. In the hush of the forest, an eagle soars overhead, its shadow sweeping across the valley below, while chipmunks dart between roots, their tiny footprints vanishing into the undergrowth. The refuge is more than a sanctuary. It is a story of resilience, of conservation, a testament to the untamed beauty that still thrives just beyond the city's edge. As evening draws near, the air turns crisp, carrying the scent of pine and distant wood smoke from the lodge. The Peak Chalet, perched atop the mountain, is aglow with warmth, a place of rest, where visitors gather by the fireplace, their hands wrapped around steaming mugs of cocoa or mulled cider. The golden light flickers against the wooden beams, the soft murmur of conversation blending with the crackling of the fire. Through wide windows, the city below glows like a constellation of stars, its reflection dancing upon the waters of the Burrard Inlet. For those who linger, the mountaintop takes on a different magic at night. In the silence, only the occasional hush of the wind through the trees remains, the vast expanse of the sky unfolding in a tapestry of stars. The northern lights, rare but mesmerizing, sometimes flicker across the heavens in ghostly ribbons of green and violet, their glow mirrored upon the snowy slopes. The world seems still, as if held in the quiet embrace of the mountain itself. Grouse Mountain is more than a destination. It is an escape, a place where the wilderness whispers its stories and where the soul finds solace in the vastness of the sky. As the gondola descends once more, the city's lights growing closer, the mountain remains behind, watching, waiting, timeless in its silent vigil above Vancouver. Tucked away in the heart of Vancouver, VanDusen Botanical Garden is a sanctuary of tranquility, a place where nature unfolds in an ever-changing masterpiece. From the moment one steps through its gates, the city seems to dissolve into a world of winding paths, hidden groves, and vibrant displays of flora from across the globe. The air is rich with the scent of blooming flowers, damp earth, and the faint sweetness of cedar, carried on the gentle breeze that rustles through towering maples and delicate cherry blossoms. In every direction, colors shift with the seasons. Spring awakens in soft pastels. Summer flourishes in bursts of gold and emerald. Autumn burns in fiery hues, and winter lingers in a quiet, frost-kissed hush. The garden's layout is a journey through different corners of the world, each section revealing the diverse beauty of nature. In the hedge maze, laughter echoes as visitors wander through its twisting green corridors, the thrill of finding the center hidden within walls of neatly clipped yew. Nearby, the Japanese garden invites quiet reflection, where stone lanterns rest beside still ponds, and koi glide like painted brushstrokes through rippling waters. The delicate weeping willows sway over the surface, their reflections dancing with the clouds above. A meandering path leads to the great lawn, an open expanse where picnics unfold beneath the dappled shade of towering oaks. In the spring, cherry blossoms drift like pale pink snowflakes, carpeting the ground in a fleeting moment of beauty. Come summer, the flower beds explode in a riot of color. Lavender and sunflowers stand tall, while roses spill their fragrance into the air. Butterflies flit from bloom to bloom, their delicate wings catching the golden light, and hummingbirds hover in a blur of emerald and ruby, sipping nectar from trumpet-shaped flowers. In a quiet corner of the garden, the tranquility deepens in the meditation garden. Here, stone pathways weave between sculpted shrubs and moss-covered rocks, while the soft trickle of water from a hidden fountain fills the space with its soothing melody. It is a place where time slows, where the worries of the world melt into the rustling leaves and the rhythmic chirping of crickets. As the sun begins its descent, the golden hour bathes the garden in a warm glow. The laburnum walk, a tunnel of cascading yellow blossoms, shimmers in the fading light, its petals catching the last rays of the sun. The air is cool, scented with the faintest traces of jasmine and fresh rain, a promise of the coming night. In the winter months, the garden transforms yet again, draped in the twinkling lights of the Festival of Lights. pathways are illuminated in soft hues, trees wrapped in glowing strands that turn the garden into an enchanted dreamscape. The pond reflects 1,000 tiny lanterns, flickering like fireflies in the night. Beneath the glow, the hush of winter brings a different kind of magic, a stillness, a quiet reverence for the season's beauty. VanDusen Botanical Garden is more than a place. It is an experience, a retreat into nature's embrace, where the simple act of wandering beneath its ancient trees and fragrant blooms soothes the soul. As visitors step through its gates once more, the city awaits beyond. Yet something lingers, the whisper of leaves, the scent of blossoms, a gentle reminder that nature's wonder is never far away. West of downtown, where the city gives way to wide beaches and ocean horizons, lies Capilano, or Kits, as the locals call it. This vibrant neighborhood is a blend of laid-back coastal living and dynamic city energy, a place where tree-lined streets lead to sandy shores, and the scent of salt water mingles with fresh coffee from cozy cafes. Life here flows with an easy rhythm. Early mornings bring paddleboarders gliding over glassy waters, while joggers follow the winding paths of Capilano Beach Park, their footsteps cushioned by the soft earth beneath towering poplars. The mountains frame the skyline, a breathtaking contrast against the deep blue of English Bay. As the sun climbs higher, Kits Beach comes alive. Volleyball players dive into golden sand, their laughter carried by the ocean breeze. Cyclists zip along the seaside greenway, the dedicated waterfront path connecting Capilano to downtown, while kayakers slip into the bay, their paddles leaving ripples in the shimmering water. In the distance, sailboats drift lazily, their white sails billowing against the horizon. Even in the cooler months, the beach holds a quiet allure. Locals stroll along the shore, the tide whispering against the pebbles, seagulls calling overhead as they circle for scraps. A short walk inland leads to West 4th Avenue, the beating heart of Capilano. Here, independent bookstores, yoga studios, and organic markets sit beside artisanal bakeries and chic boutiques. The aroma of roasted coffee drifts from corner cafes, where locals linger over oat milk lattes and fresh pastries, their conversations punctuated by the hum of passing bicycles. There's an undeniable warmth to this neighborhood, a sense of community that thrives in the effortless balance between urban life and nature's beauty. Further along the coast, English Bay unfolds like a postcard scene, one of Vancouver's most iconic waterfronts. It is a place where time slows, where golden sands stretch toward the seawall, and the gentle rhythm of the waves sets the pace of the day. Here, beachgoers bask in the summer sun, while street performers play soft melodies on acoustic guitars, their music weaving into the laughter of children chasing the tide. The giant Inukshuk, a towering stone figure that has become a symbol of Vancouver, stands watch over the bay, its arms open wide to the sea. The Stanley Park seawall curves gracefully along the shoreline, inviting cyclists and walkers to follow its path past Second Beach, where the scent of barbecue drifts from shaded picnic areas. At Sunset Beach, the golden hour begins in earnest. The sky melts into hues of rose and amber, reflecting off the tranquil water as silhouettes of freighters dot the horizon, waiting patiently to enter the bustling port. As night falls, the city lights flicker to life across the bay, a constellation mirrored in the water's surface. Fire dancers spin glowing orbs along the shoreline, their movements hypnotic against the twilight sky. From the bustling patios of oceanfront restaurants, the clinking of glasses and gentle hum of conversation mix with the distant call of gulls settling in for the night. Capilano and English Bay are more than beaches. They are an invitation to pause, to soak in the beauty of the natural world where it meets the energy of the city. The ocean breeze carries the promise of another day, another tide, another sunset to chase. As visitors sit in the cool sand, watching the last light fade into night, the city hums behind them, alive, but never too far from the soothing whisper of the sea. At the westernmost edge of Vancouver, where the land stretches toward the Pacific, lies the University of British Columbia, UBC, a prestigious institution perched atop a rugged coastal landscape. Beyond its academic renown, the campus is a gateway to some of the city's most breathtaking natural spaces, where towering trees, dramatic cliffs, and endless ocean vistas form a backdrop to scholarly pursuits. The air here carries the scent of cedar and sea spray, mingling with the quiet hum of student life. A gentle morning fog clings to the treetops as the campus awakens. Stately brick buildings stand amid green courtyards, their windows reflecting the soft glow of the rising sun. Along Main Mall, students stroll past manicured gardens and grand archways, their laughter mixing with birdsong. The UBC Rose Garden, perched on a bluff overlooking the water, is a hidden gem, a sea of vibrant blooms framing an endless horizon where the North Shore Mountains rise in the distance. It is a place for quiet contemplation, where the scent of roses lingers in the salty breeze. A short walk away, the Museum of Anthropology, MOA, sits like a sentinel over the land, its grand glass facade opening to a collection of indigenous art and history. Here, massive Haida totem poles stand tall, their intricate carvings whispering stories of generations past. Inside, exhibits explore the deep cultural roots of the First Nations peoples of the Pacific Northwest, weaving together tradition, artistry, and resilience. Just beyond the museum, a forested trail leads to the cliffs above Wreck Beach, one of Vancouver's most famous and secluded stretches of sand. Descending the long wooden staircase, visitors emerge onto the shoreline, where driftwood logs serve as natural benches and waves lap gently at the pebbled shore. The raw, untamed beauty of the Pacific is on full display here, framed by the rugged cliffs above. In the summer, the beach becomes a lively enclave of sun-seekers and artists, while in winter it transforms into a place of solitude, where the only footprints in the sand belong to wandering souls and seabirds. Beyond the university, the land gives way to Pacific Spirit Regional Park, a vast expanse of old-growth forest cradling the city's western edge. Stepping into the park is like stepping back in time, Ancient Douglas firs and western red cedars rise like cathedral spires, their moss-draped trunks forming a sanctuary of green. Sunlight filters through the dense canopy, dappling the winding dirt paths that snake through the undergrowth. The park is alive with quiet movement, a deer grazing in the underbrush, a squirrel darting along a fallen log, the distant drumming of a woodpecker echoing through the stillness. Runners and walkers move at a measured pace, their footsteps muffled by a thick carpet of fallen leaves and pine needles. Along the quieter trails, the silence is profound, broken only by the rhythmic rustling of leaves in the breeze. As evening falls, the forest takes on an ethereal glow, the last light of the sun casting long shadows through the towering trees. The scent of damp earth and pine lingers in the air, grounding those who walk beneath the ancient canopy. Here, amidst the whispers of the wind and the rhythmic pulse of the ocean beyond, there is a sense of something eternal, a reminder that nature's embrace is never far from the heart of the city. As the sun dips below the horizon, a new kind of energy awakens in the city. Just south of Vancouver, in Richmond, the night air hums with anticipation. The scent of sizzling meats, sweet pastries, and exotic spices drifts through the breeze, leading visitors toward a glowing expanse of lights, music, and laughter. The Richmond Night Market, one of the largest and most famous in North America, transforms an ordinary parking lot into a bustling world of culinary delights and cultural vibrancy. Stepping inside the market is like stepping into a festival of flavors. Stalls stretch in every direction, each one offering a unique dish to discover. The rhythmic clatter of woks, the hiss of skewers hitting the grill, and the joyful calls of vendors create a symphony of sensory delight. Strings of glowing lanterns sway overhead, their golden light casting a warm glow over the eager crowds weaving between the stalls. Visitors line up for some of the market's legendary street food: Taiwanese popcorn chicken, Japanese takoyaki, Filipino skewers, and freshly grilled squid on a stick. Steam rises from bubbling hot pots, while the rich aroma of Korean bulgogi and Chinese barbecue pork fills the air. Those with a sweet tooth gravitate toward bubble waffles, mochi ice cream, and mango sago, their hands wrapped around refreshing cups of fruit smoothies or boba tea. Beyond the food, the market pulses with entertainment. A live stage features cultural performances, local musicians and dance groups, their energy drawing applause from the audience. Families and groups of friends stop to admire the vibrant art installations and neon-lit photo spots, capturing memories beneath the glow of twinkling lights. Alongside the food vendors, artisan stalls display handcrafted jewelry, quirky accessories, and anime-inspired trinkets, while others offer novelty toys, plush characters, and even the latest K-pop merchandise. The market's charm is in its sheer variety. Each turn reveals something unexpected, whether it's an unfamiliar dish to try or a performer showcasing their talents. The energy of the Richmond Night Market is infectious. Even as the night deepens, the atmosphere remains electric, with visitors savoring their final bites of matcha soft serve or dragon's breath dessert, wisps of fog curling into the cool air. As the last calls of the vendors signal the market's closing, visitors linger just a little longer, reluctant to leave the warmth, flavors, and laughter behind. The bright lanterns flicker against the night sky, marking the end of another evening of delicious discoveries and shared experiences. In the stillness that follows, the echoes of the night linger, a reminder that even in a city surrounded by nature, its heart beats strongest where people come together to celebrate culture, cuisine, and connection. As the night deepens, the city's skyline glows with a quiet brilliance, reflecting off the dark waters of Burrard Inlet. Suspended above the harbor, the Lions Gate Bridge stretches gracefully between the towering peaks of the North Shore and the urban elegance of Vancouver. The bridge, with its emerald green suspension cables and soaring steel towers, stands as a symbol of connection, linking the city's bustling core with the wild beauty beyond. From Stanley Park's seawall, the view is nothing short of breathtaking. The bridge is illuminated in soft golden light, its reflection shimmering across the rippling water. On one side, the glass towers of downtown gleam under the night sky, their lights dancing like distant stars. On the other, the dark silhouette of Grouse Mountain looms over the inlet, its peak crowned with the glow of the Skyride station, where night skiers carve their way through glistening snow. Standing beneath the bridge, the low hum of passing traffic blends with the whisper of the waves below. It's easy to imagine the history carried by this span, a gateway once built for the grand ambitions of the city, now a lifeline between urban life and the wilderness that defines the region. For a final farewell, the journey continues along Lions Gate's pedestrian walkway, offering a stunning panorama of the city, the park, and the vast Pacific beyond. The scent of salt air and pine trees drifts up from the coastline, mixing with the crisp night breeze. Below, a passing ferry glides across the inlet, its lights flickering in the darkness, guiding travelers to the shores of Vancouver's distant neighborhoods. Farther along, the bridge leads to the North Shore, where the quiet streets of West Vancouver settle into slumber beneath the soft glow of street lamps. Ambleside Park, just beyond the bridge, offers a final peaceful moment by the water, a place to listen to the tide rolling in and to watch the city shimmer from a distance. Standing here, at the edge of Vancouver's embrace, there is a deep sense of balance between nature and metropolis, between movement and stillness. The city feels alive yet peaceful, a place where the rush of daily life and the serenity of the mountains exist in perfect harmony. And as the final moments of this journey fade into the cool, starlit night, Vancouver leaves a lasting impression, a city where forests and oceans whisper to one another, where the lights of a bridge reflect the spirit of a place that is both timeless and ever-changing. Tomorrow the city will awaken once more, its mountains greeting the sunrise, its harbor welcoming new journeys. But for now, beneath the glow of Lions Gate Bridge, the night belongs to stillness, reflection, and dreams of returning once again. We hope you enjoyed today's serene journey and found peace in our gentle narration. Do join us next time as we make a relaxing visit to another of the world's most iconic places. Sweet dreams and safe travels until we meet again.